Why? Just... Okay, so Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the new horror movie of 2023. Alright, so long story short, basically Christopher Robin decided to abandon his childhood friends of Winnie and the characters, and basically they grew up a bit feral and they started resorting to cannibalism, which then led them to becoming evil and becoming serial killers and murderers. My god. So basically how this movie came to be, basically Winnie the Pooh and the licensing rights were actually expired and ended up on the public domain, which means that people are able to use the characters to do whatever they actually want without having to pay a fee or any legal costs until somebody even wants to pay for the rights to those characters. And sure enough, like a couple of hours later, the trailer for this movie exists. Like, did they already make this and they knew that it was expiring so they could release it? Like, what's happening? Now, I am not going to be saying anything nice about this movie because honestly, like, I just couldn't bear the first, like, 10 minutes of this movie. Like, it was not pleasant at all. Like, here's the thing about this movie. Like, there's nothing really much to say about the actual characters in this movie because I didn't even bother remembering their names, let alone remembering, like, anything about them. Like, the only person I know in this is Christopher Robin, and even I forgot he was even in this movie. Now, another thing about the particular main villains of this movie, there are only two, and that's Winnie and Piglet. Like, nobody else is even in this movie. Like, yeah, you get mentions of the other characters, and we know, like, what happens to Eeyore if you guys even bother watching this movie, but my god, it's just, yeah, like, the fact that they didn't even bother adding more of the characters from the famous Winnie the Pooh books in this, like, it's just, it baffles me that why even bother if you're not going to put in all the characters in this. And this is the thing about this movie, like, when you're watching Piglet and Winnie the Pooh that are on the screen, like, the two characters from the, the books and, the famous franchise that we know, they don't even, like, there's just no effort into the actual actors portraying them because the costumes, you can clearly tell that they're just people in Halloween masks. Now, another thing that's really, really distracting about this movie, and yes, it is B-grade horror, but the special effects and the blood and gore, oh my god, they are just so bad. Like, literally, it's CGI blood, and you're just seeing eyeballs popping out, you're seeing... Like, there are a couple of practical elements into it, but there are just moments where it's just fake CGI blood everywhere, and it does not even look that good. And especially as well, like, even the characters that do end up getting killed, or the ones that do survive, honestly, like, they are just the most stupidest people in this movie as well. Like, for example, there is one moment where there is a character that has a massive revolver, like a revolver of all the guns that they could have used in this movie, and they only fire it once, and the person who did fire it, stupid, honestly. Now, overall with this movie, I'm so glad I borrowed this off a mate because honestly, like, I would have never paid for this movie. I would have never watched it. The only reason why I watched it is because my mate let me borrow it, and he knew it was bad, but he still bought it. And the thing about this movie is that, yes, the special effects are bad. It's B-grade horror. You can clearly tell that the people who are playing Winnie the Pooh and Piglet in this movie, like, they're clearly wearing Halloween masks. And just the acting and just the overall way that this movie was made, it's just bad, and it doesn't even look good. And to me personally, this is a movie that people are gonna hate, and it's just garbage. Honestly, garbage.
You're garbage. Human garbage.
That is one big pile of shit.
But what did you guys think of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow my socials up here as well. And as always, as I say at the end of these videos, get me some goddamn M&Ms.
Miss Hoover, the movie's over.
Down in front.